Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bernice. I am 24 years old. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, but I live in PA. I moved out here in May. I live with my fiance and our dog Scooby. I just want to do a recap of 2019. I know we're almost done with January, but I figure if I want to start again with my YouTube channel that I had to do it now, and I'm going to try my best to be more consistent with it and put out more videos and just grow in my YouTube channel overall. I want to do a recap that's going to lead into where I am now in 2020. So I moved May of 2019 to PA. So like I said, I live with my fiance and our dog. He proposed to me in June, so my 24th birthday was June 26th, and on June 29th he proposed to me, and I was really not expecting that whatsoever. But yeah, he proposed to me, and then October, and it was my grandmother's birthday, so I got to go to New York. Well, we got to go to New York and spend some time with family and celebrate my grandmother's 86th birthday, which was really great. You know, I love being with family. Thanksgiving came around. I made sure to be out there. We had a really nice dinner, got to spend time with my grandmother. No, the reason why I keep mentioning my grandmother is because she was sick. She was in hospice for like a year or two. Almost 2 years actually. So she lived with her younger daughter, and I will always like be worried like about her, just because hospice is like your time is almost there, so any like moment that we were able to spend with her, we did. Where I'm going with this is December 11th came around, and my grandmother actually ended up passing away. And it's crazy because, so listen to this part, guys. This is the crazy part. I requested Wednesday off in my job, so Tuesday after work I went to New York because my mom was having a biopsy done that Wednesday that I requested off for, and my sister was not able to go with her because of work. And I think it was work and school for my sister, and then my stepfather, he was also working, so I made sure to take off so I can go with my mom. And basically that Tuesday, and I got out there like around 8:30 at night because I left after work. And I remember I told my mom I want to go see grandma, but I don't want to go right now because my mom lives in projects, and freaking parking, like if you're from Brooklyn, parking, especially around projects, is a headache. So I had found a parking like right in front of her building, so it was like perfect. Like I was tired from work, and then besides that, it was like I had a perfect parking, so I didn't want to move my car to go see my aunt, my grandfather, my grandmother, like my cousin. So I was like, oh, tomorrow I'll go and see them. So I ended up just spending some time with my mom and sister and my stepfather. Then that Wednesday morning, boy, we had to be up at like 5:30 in the morning, me and my mom, because the biopsy was going to be done. I think it was like around 7:45, but the clinic where my mom had to go is like probably 30 to 40 minutes away from my mom, so I wanted to be like traffic, like rush hour. So we ended up leaving early, and we got out there early, and they took her in like right away. Well, they took her in right away, but they took a while for her to like come out or whatever. So my mom got out like around 10:30 from her biopsy. And then I remember we went to Dunkin' Donuts, and we sat there and we were eating, but for some reason like I couldn't eat. And it's crazy because I didn't eat anything at all that morning, but I couldn't eat. So I remember my aunt called me just to see like how everything went with my mother, and I told her, everything, went well, like we just gotta wait on the results now, and we're about to head home. We were grabbing some food, and my aunt said, don't tell your mom. And I was just like, oh, like my phone is connected to the car, so she heard you already, like what happened. And she told us that my grandmother wasn't looking so well. And I remember my mom like panicking, and I told my mom, like, relax, you just got done with a biopsy. My mom had like a lump, so they wanted to check like the mass of that and like just make sure that everything was fine, like no cancer or anything like that. So that's what that biopsy was done for. So like I was saying, so my aunt calls me and she tells me that, their mother doesn't look so good. And we were like, oh, like, okay, we're heading home now, but just keep an eye on her, like, because my thing was I wanted to go to my mom's house, nap for a bit, and then go see my grandmother. So ends up being that when we're like on the highway heading back, my aunt calls me again, and then she's like, grandma is doing like really, really, really bad. So can you do me a favor? If you're by your mom's house, can you pick up my other sisters? So I told her, yeah, no problem. Like take it easy, like it's okay. The reason why I wasn't like overreacting, I guess, is just because of the fact that my grandmother, since she was in hospice, she would get like really, really sick, and then she would be fine. So it was like something that was going on where it was like, oh, she's really sick. Oh wait, but she's fine. So it was kind of like something we were already kind of used to. We just had to make sure, like, keep an eye on her. So then, I go and pick up my aunts, and like, while I'm on my way, I'm calling them and I'm telling them, like, get ready. I just got a phone call that your mother isn't doing so good, so I'm gonna pick you up. And they live right around the corner from each other, so it was like perfect. I was like, I'm gonna go pick you you ladies up, and then we're gonna go straight to our other aunt's house. And while I'm getting my aunts, my cousin, which is my aunt's son where my grandmother's living, my cousin calls my mom. My mom was in the car, and he told my mom, I think she passed away. And we were like, my mom calls me while I'm inside getting my aunts, my mom's sisters, and I'm like, hello. And she's like, hey, Wesley just called me, which is my cousin. She's like, Wesley just called me saying that he thinks, and we used to call my grandmother Mama. He was like, we think Mama passed away. And I was like, what you mean you think? And then she's like, he said that she took like her last breath. So like, it hasn't hit me at all. And I remember one of my aunts had her home attendant with her in her house, and she didn't like want to go right away because she wanted to shower, because one of the nurses had just went to her house to like check on her and everything. So she wanted to shower, get ready, and then go see her mother. And like, I didn't know how to say it, so I was just like, you can't take your time, like, she's dead, like, we have to go, she's dead. And I remember it was my mom's twin and the older sister. That's who I was getting. And they were like, what, you can't say something like that, don't be playing like that, blah blah blah. And I was just like, I don't know how else to say it. Like, I know it wasn't the perfect way of saying it, but it's like, how else do I say it so you ladies can like rush and get to where we have to be? So we end up getting in my car, and we are driving to go to my aunt's house. And like, my mom and her twin sisters are like, well, her twin sister is like bawling, like they're bawling in tears. And I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna need for y'all to like try and be strong, keep it together, because now we're going to your sister's house, which, imagine how she's feeling, like seeing also that her mom just passed away, like right in front of her. So like, it was a lot going on, like a lot of emotions, but honestly, it didn't hit me. I'm so upset to this day, guys. I was driving, and I didn't know at the time that there was a camera where I was passing through like the street, and because I was speeding, like I was probably like 10 miles per hour, like over the speed limit. And because of that, I did get a ticket, and that came in later on in the mail, and I was just like, damn, this is crazy. I got a $50 ticket for speeding because my grandmother had passed away, and which is fine, like I was speeding. But we end up getting there, and my grandmother's laying in bed, and she's like she's dead, guys. And I remember everybody was like crying, except us, like the kids. Like we were more like on the calm side because we had to be like strong for our parents, you know. And I remember my sister was my grandmother's home attendant also, and we were FaceTiming her and FaceTiming her. My sister wasn't picking up because my sister was in school taking a test. She had her pre-final and she couldn't miss that. So it's like, do we give her the news or do we wait for her to like tell us she's out of school to give her the news? And we have a group chat, like the cousins, and we were texting on there. Like that's when my cousin Wesley was keeping us all updated on the news of telling us like what was going on with our grandmother. And I remember my sister FaceTimed us and she was like so red. She was bawling in tears, crying with her classmates. And we were like, hey, like, are you still in school? And she's like, yeah, I'm almost done. I don't know what time I'm gonna get out there though. And we told her, well, we have like about an hour, 2 hours before they come and get, you know, our grandmother's body. And I remember she was like, please keep her there till I get there. And we did the best we can. But they actually came and picked up my grandmother like, I won't even say we lasted an hour with my grandmother's body there. Like they were not letting us keep her there, which is kind of crazy to us because usually they take forever to come and get them. But then again, it's because they called right away to inform them that my grandmother had passed away. So, you know, they weren't going to have us waiting with the body for so long because she was in hospice already. So, you know, it's kind of quicker for them to just come and get the body. And I remember it hit me really, really bad when I went downstairs to open the door for the people that came to get my grandmother's body. So when they came, we all like made room so it could be easier for them to take the body down and, you know, outside of the apartment. And I remember I went down like to keep the door open for them, like as they went by with like my grandmother's body. And I just started bawling in tears when they put her in like the van. And I remember my uncle was outside with me and he hugged me and he was saying like it's gonna be okay or whatever, but he was like heartbroken by the news. So but it's just crazy because I went out there just for my mother's biopsy, and then it turns out to be that my grandmother passed away like that same morning. She passed away. And if it wasn't for my mom's biopsy, I would have been in PA. And it's crazy because one thing that I always prayed about, like living out here in PA, was if I was going to lose my grandmother to be perfect timing or for me to be with my family, because how do I deal with that, you know? So it was like perfect timing when it happened. Also, I may not look too sad, but it's just because of the fact that I know like she's in a better place. She is resting. She's no longer in pain or anything like that. I do have my moments where obviously I break down and I cry, but I was overall happy that she was gone, as weird as it sounds, just because she was starting to suffer, and that was one thing that my grandmother always said she didn't want happening. She didn't want to feel like she was suffering, like just in a bed and not being able to do anything for herself. So I was really like at peace knowing that, you know, she passed. And I remember we did everything that same week. So my grandmother passed away that Wednesday, the 11th of December. Thursday the 12th, we were just doing like all the arrangements and all. Friday the 13th, we had her funeral, and then Saturday the 14th, we buried her. Crazy thing is, my grandmother passed away on the 11th at 11, and then Saturday she was buried at 11. And us, the cousins, we say like that was her wish. Her wish was to just leave in peace, and we still are sad because of, you know, of her not being here with us anymore. I'm trying not to cry. It hurts because it is a loved one, but What sucked after that was 2 weeks later, I went back to New York. I stayed in New York that whole time, grieving with my family. And then I came back that Sunday after my grandmother's burial, which was that Saturday. And I remember coming back home that Sunday and going back to work Monday. 2 weeks later, I went back to New York to go with my mom to get her results of the biopsy. And I can't forget to say, I didn't even want to wake up. Like, I remember I was out there in New York and I didn't want to wake up. I was so tired. And my mom was like, come on, let's go. We're going to be late. But we didn't get there late. You know, we got there on time. We waited for the doctors to call us in. And the doctors, call us in. My mom doesn't really know so much. Like, she knows English, but not very well. So, like, I had to translate. The doctor had his translators, but they didn't mind me, like, translating for my mom. And I remember we're sitting there, and my mom was already, like, really, really nervous to get her results. And it's almost like she had a feeling. And I remember the doctors told us that her biopsy came back positive as in she does have breast cancer. And it was so, like, hard to, like, cope with that, just because we had just lost, her mother, my grandmother. Like, she had just passed away 2 weeks ago. And I remember my mom just started, like, bawling out in tears. And I was like, like, Mom, it's gonna be okay, like, don't worry about it. Like, I know it's been a rough month because, we just lost my mom, and then now we're getting the news that you have breast cancer. And I remember, like, they're telling us, we're not sure, like, what stage it is. We have to get right on it, though, because now that we do know, it's something where you can cure, or, like, just find all the answers, every help that you need, like, just get on it right away. And we were just there, and I was holding back my tears like I am now. And then I just started crying because I remember my mom saying, I don't want nobody else to know of the family. And I told her, you can't keep this a secret, because God forbid, what if it's like a high stage and we have to, like, you have to go through chemo and all this. Like, what are you going to tell your family then? I was like, I know it's a lot of bad news, but we have to deal with it together. And it was a rough month. Like, December was a rough month, and that's the reason why I wanted to go back to 2019. It started off really great. Got an apartment with my man, new car, new job, starting my own business, just great overall. And it just took a turn towards the end, and that's life, it happens. So that was, if I'm not mistaken, a Wednesday or that was a Thursday. So I remember they gave her the appointment for a month, for that following Monday. They went that Monday. They actually went just to find out, like, what stage it was and all. So it was not even like a complete stage 1 cancer. It was only 1 centimeter. And the good news was that if they didn't find anything else on the other breast or any more, like, on that breast after the MRIs and x-rays being taken, then my mom will only have to have a small surgery being done. So with that being said, we just been waiting for the next surgery. We've just been waiting for the next appointment to come so we can get more information on it. And I do plan on vlogging that part for you guys, so I can add it on to, the second part of this video. It's not like I wanted to start my channel on a negative note, but the fact that all of this is going on is something where I want to be able to look back on. And also, there is a lot of close people to me that already subscribe to me, like, to my channel. So I want to like update you guys on, on my life, on the things that I don't want to make public. I did talk to my mom. She said it was fine. And yeah, guys, so I want to start off, like this. And what I'm trying to say is, I know we all go through things in our life, but sometimes you just have to have a little faith in God, because you just never know what He's doing. And I'm so thankful that even though we had a rough month in December, January has been going pretty good, in the sense where at least we know that my mom's breast cancer isn't so bad. It is still cancer, but we just hope it doesn't get worse or anything, and that everything does go well. So thank you guys for listening. I hope I didn't bore you guys or anything like that. I just wanted to update you guys, and I hope you click like on this video, you leave a comment, and most definitely subscribe. I will be uploading more content, and I will be making this channel popping, okay? So thank you guys once again for listening, and just keep my mother in your prayers, and also my family. Yeah, so thank you.